We are back on board. It's Dateline Lagos here on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Now, it's a program that showcases the development initiatives of the Lagos State Government. This week's edition will focus on the 2021 budget signed into law by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, efforts of the government in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic, and a look at the Agege Pen Cinema flyover project. Let's get started with the 1.163 trillion naira budget signed into law by Governor Sanwo-Olu, who expressed optimism that Lagos will recover from the challenges of year 2020. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
The Lagos State Government is ready to set the ball rolling for development activities in the new year, which is why Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has signed the 2021 budget into law. The state governor had presented a budget of 1.155 trillion naira to the State Assembly, factoring in the state's rebuilding project, a figure lawmakers agreed should be increased.
For his assent as well as for his revenue.
Tough decisions will be made this year, according to the governor, in order to deliver good governance to the people.
We will continue our work of rebuilding Lagos, advancing economic growth and expanding opportunities for Lagosians to flourish despite the economic challenges caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. As we already know, the 2020 will go down in history as a peculiar year, largely defined by the COVID-19 pandemic and the NSAS protests, which had a lot of destruction and unfortunate incidents and the aftermath of it, which affected a lot of public and private businesses. I promise Lagosians that the 2021 budget will indeed rekindle hope, deliver a substantial economic growth, and bolster our efforts to rebuild Lagos. We will make tough choices where necessary and seize opportunities as needed while ensuring that no Lagosian is left behind.
The budget size passed by the legislature stands at 1.16 trillion naira with a capital to recurrent ratio of 60:40. The capital expenditure is 702 billion naira, while recurrent expenditure stands at 460 billion naira. Governor Sanwo-Olu gives assurances that the 2021 budget will be prudently implemented with priority placed on the people.
A significant portion of the budget has been committed to human capital development, youth engagement, social intervention initiatives, and the completion of ongoing projects that are critical to achieving the objectives of our team's agenda. We are determined to provide the right economic environment for Lagosians to thrive. As the world combats the COVID-19, we will make the necessary sacrifice to further place our state on the path of abundance and economic recovery. We hope to the task, with our collective resilience, we will achieve our key goals in all sectors, and nothing will stop us from justifying the trust of the people in our government.
Lagos State is asking all stakeholders to join hands with government to boost the growth and economy of the nation's commercial nerve center.
For those that still have doubt about the COVID-19 pandemic, please be warned that the second wave appears more critical than the first. This explains why the Lagos State Government has commissioned oxygen plants at 2 locations in the state. It has also received an additional isolation center from a private body to help patients recover as soon as possible.
The number of COVID-19 cases is fast increasing in Lagos State, yet many defy the risk and are shown in protocols.
Nigeria, a lot of people they don't even care. Some people just go out with a few money that they use to enter their transport. If I bought 2 of that nose mask for my 2 passengers today, when I told them, they told me that they have only the transport fare. So I told them to cut down. One man was begging me that he have an appointment by 9 o'clock. I have my own because I'm sad. That is why I say As you see me, so if I cover my mouth, I cannot ring my bell and call my passenger because I'm calling Aguda Ogba Ajayi Road.
Being the epicenter of the virus in the country, this may explain the high numbers, with community transmission meeting a more aggressive second wave. The state government is concerned that many more people may require the use of oxygen to survive.
We can tell that the virus is beginning to pick up and it's beginning to transmit itself a bit more aggressively compared to September, but not as high as July and August. But we hope that what we put in place, again, to reinforce guidelines and non-pharmaceutical interventions, we hope that we'll be able to blunt the second wave and prevent it from overshooting the first wave. Since August, and of course since January, where we were only testing a handful, we've gone up to testing on one point. In fact, we tested 3,000 people on one day. So you can suddenly realize that you're short of breath and you don't even know that you're COVID positive. So it's not just for COVID positive people. Anybody who is suddenly feeling that they're having difficulty breathing must find themselves to one of those 10 oxygen kiosks. You are likely to be COVID positive most of the time. I would say 99 out of 100 times, if you're having difficulty breathing, that is not due to asthma or anything like that. All of a sudden you were well last week and suddenly you're having difficulty breathing, then it's COVID until proven otherwise. You come to that center, we'll manage you, we'll stabilize you, we'll do your test, we'll test for other things, and when you're stable and your test is positive, or even if it's not positive at that point in time and you're deteriorating, we'll move you to our isolation facilities. We must remember, and if you're watching the news around the world, you can see that COVID has not gone anywhere. It is still very much present in every country around the world. It is certainly present in Lagos, and it's not the time to think that it is gone and we've managed to eradicate COVID from this environment. We have not.
And to match words with action, the state government commissions oxygen camps which double as sample collection sites at the Mother and Child Care Hospital, Etiosa. Another oxygen plant is located at the Infectious Disease Hospital, Yaba. According to Professor Abayomi, the plant was built in collaboration with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in response to the severity of the second wave of COVID-19.
We're getting a large number of patients being admitted in the second wave, and a lot of them seem to be very dependent on oxygen. So our demand for oxygen is rising and escalating dramatically. And we're pulling oxygen from as many places as we can, but we've also have a plan in Lagos State to generate our own oxygen, and this is the instructions from the incident commander, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor, that we should have our own oxygen plants in our facilities in Lagos State, particularly here at IDH during the COVID response. So this is a brand new plant. It will be producing up to 60 cylinders of oxygen in 24 hours. It's a collaboration between Lagos State government and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And that's a good example of the collaboration between the government and private sector.
With more than 35% of the COVID-19 burden, the support by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and other organizations is a pointer that the burden may be too much to bear for the government, which is why it is receiving more support from the private sector. One of the latest is coming from Reddington Hospital, which has stretched a helping hand to the state government by donating the Armored Shield Isolation Center for patients who test positive to the virus.
The response to this disease calls for a partnership between government and the private sector, as we are all in this together, and it is virtually impossible for government to bear the burden of managing this disease on its own. I would like to take this opportunity to commend His Excellency the Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and the Honorable Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, and the Lagos State Health Service for the exemplary way they have led a robust response to this scourge in the state. We have certainly felt the impact of the second wave of COVID-19, and it has become clear that we needed to respond in some way to supplement the current capacity in Lagos State for managing this disease, which does not discriminate between individuals on any basis, such as wealth, education, ethnicity, or language. We are hopeful that this facility, being commissioned today, will significantly boost the capacity of Lagos State and, by extension, Nigeria.
For the Lagos State Governor,
Thank you very much.
the battle against COVID-19 can only be won if only residents can prevent a spread of the infection.
We cannot do it all by ourselves. And so when the public issues arose and the private sector raises up to such occasion, the least we can do is to encourage them. And this is not just a small encouragement, this is a big one. We all know, and everybody had spoken about what we're going through, which is the pandemic, the coronavirus, and we cannot stop the advocacy. We cannot stop talking about it because, like it's been said, people probably still think that it's something that is made for some set of people and is made for some type of people. He knows no race, no religion, no economic status. He knows nothing. And all he tries on is people and congregation of people and just looking for where the next victim should come from. We were anticipating that, yes, there probably will be a second wave, but we really did not know that even the second wave will be stronger than the first wave. Because we've taken time to understand the movement of the virus, we know that it affects more people around the respiratory issue. And we now know that, when it affects the respiratory issue, you need a lot more oxygen that you ordinarily must, that you have. And so anticipatorily, we have provided that. And we're still scaling up that provision so that we cannot backtrack on our public health deliverable. I mean, it's still a public health issue. And as a government, we need to continue to lead from the front. Let's use occasions like this to spread the news that all of the non-pharmaceutical protocols that have been set, please, people need to comply with them.
The isolation center is a 20-bed facility on Victoria Island, equipped with state-of-the-art ICU equipment from levels 1 through to 3, level 3 being the most critical cases which need oxygen. The oxygen is supplied by these pipes coming through the wall. Patients are monitored at the command center and get prompt attention if their condition worsens. And for the first time, a meeting area where relatives can interact with their loved ones without contact to minimize the psychosocial trauma that may result from separation. With all these in place, Reddington Hospital looks set to pull its weight in the ongoing fight against COVID-19. And as it continues to provide healthcare services for those who have contracted the virus and other patients, Lagos State is again advocating that all safety protocols be strictly adhered to reverse and win the battle against COVID-19.
Dear Lagosians, the second wave of the deadly coronavirus pandemic is here. Its new strain is easily transmitted and deadlier. Coronavirus symptoms are fever, dry cough, tiredness, difficulty in breathing. We can all prevent the spread of this virus through appropriate and regular use of face masks, avoiding close contact with people who are at high risk, washing our hands regularly with soap and running water, especially after visiting the toilet, before eating and after coughing or sneezing, using alcohol-based hand sanitizer, maintaining at least 1.5 meters or 5 feet distance from anyone coughing or sneezing, covering our mouths with tissue while coughing or sneezing, and thrashing the tissue. If you feel unwell and show symptoms of coronavirus, or you notice anyone who does, please call the Lagos State Emergency Hotlines 08000 ECOMED or 0803 33 56 5529. Many are dead. Don't fall victim or die in ignorance. Report now. Together, we will overcome this challenge. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe, Lagos State Government, announcer.
Still on COVID-19, a warning for those who have refused to obey the safety guidelines put in place by the Lagos State Government. Now, the law has begun catching up with such individuals as the police have arrested 237 violators of the COVID-19 protocols.
A bad day for these nightclubbers who have defied all COVID-19 protocols on social gatherings and operation of nightclubs.
You must enjoy the essence of your own life. Who will allow you?
They are rounded up by police officers in Lagos, led by the Commissioner of Police, Hakeem Odumosu, during this operation in the early hours of Saturday. The fun seekers are left in shock as they are led out of Lounge 38 in Bode Thomas Surulere and Columbia Club in Victoria Island.
Single file.
Some of those arrested show their grievances before they are driven away in this Black Maria. While being paraded at the police headquarters in Ikeja, the police commissioner explains that the enforcement has just begun.
The club owners are hereby strictly warned, and I repeat, strictly warned, to comply with state government directive that all clubs must close immediately. All clubs, no exception. And the owners of the clubs now will be fished out, will be prosecuted too, because we know that if there is no seller, there won't be buyer. Somebody must provide something for somebody to buy. And if you approach to the world now, we recommend the revocation of the sale of that property to the state government.
The suspects are later charged before the Lagos State Mobile Court and fined accordingly. In the meantime, 95 others were arrested during a raid on criminal hideouts in Ketu and Ikeja areas of the city. Apart from retaining its position as the epicenter of the pandemic, Lagos State has recorded huge infections of the virus since the second wave began. Hence, these drastic measures being taken by the state government.
Finally on the program, let's see the level of work done on the Agege Pen Cinema Flyover project, which will be commissioned anytime soon by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to ease vehicular movement of motorists and commuters plying that route.
Agege is one of the densely populated areas in Lagos State, with the number of residents estimated at over 400,000. It's a major connection point to Pen Cinema, Ogba, Idrishaga, Abulegba and Iyanokpaja, the same advantage that makes it prone to heavy traffic that often results in gridlock. But it's a route that cannot be ignored, which is why the former governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, initiated the Agege Pen Cinema Flyover project in 2017. The 1.4-kilometer bridge is one of the projects he left for his successor, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who has pushed it close to completion point. Motorists who initially used the open space as their loading bay share their thoughts on the project.
For the past 3 or 4 years, we know the kind of challenges we are facing about the traffic within this Agege Pen Cinema Flyover. But due to the construction of the bridge, as we are looking at it, at the end of the project, so I know the movement of the vehicle within the environment, it will be easy for every one of us. People that are coming from Ogba, going to Shaga, and the people that are even coming from Abulegba that are going to Ikeja, so they can even look through the Adejobi Street there. Likewise, the people that are even coming from Okekoto, when they are going to Oshodi. So really, I cannot even mention a lot because it's up to 8 or 10 road that I can lead.
They have done a good job, but there are some things that we are still looking forward from them. Like we now, we don't have garage. There is no provision for us because we have a big garage before, but now we are just hanging up and down. And especially people that are coming from Agegemoto Road going to Ogba. There is no road for them to link the bridge. The other side of the bridge is not linking the rail. We are begging, maybe they can give us some places there and we will be taking care of the place. So, because if we don't have anywhere to stay, we will be causing a lot of go-slow.
My only concern is that there are some people that are coming from Abati or Abulegba side. We don't even know how they can even climb the road to link this bridge. That is the only problem we have over here.
If they are coming from Abulegba, they will pass through under the bridge. They'll pass under the bridge. But if you are coming from Fagba, you pass directly from top the bridge and you join the road going to Abulegba. They have been doing better and we pray they should do more for us.
In the meantime, engineers are sighted on the bridge, inspecting what has been done so far. It's clear that the contractors still have their jobs cut out for them, with issues coming up that must be fixed as soon as possible. Governor Sanwo-Olu visited the area a month ago, promising to deliver the project by February.
And the final thing is the signalization. There are 4 synchronized signalizations that you are going to have here, and each of those 4 must work together. So we're expecting that all of those will come in early next year. You remember that the last time we came here, we actually promised the Goshians we'll finish by the end of the year. So it's in keeping promise on what we said, I think it was in May, right, that you can see the contractor is fully on ground. So we're going to give them 6 weeks, maximum 8 weeks, to be able to finish all the little snags so that we can have a clear experience here. So we would say that indeed it will start getting motorable from January, first week, second week, but they will need an additional like 4 weeks to finish signalization, to finish curb painting, to finish all the road demarcations and all of that. So we're looking to fully hand over this place sometime in February. And so the other things we're looking at is that after this bridge, what are the other complementary things that we can do around this whole area, right? I mean, this is massive infrastructure, but there might be 1 or 2 side roads, because of drainage connections that ourselves, we need to look at it. We'll probably also talk to our friends in Pharma and also Public Works to see if we can now take some of the side roads and also the local government to begin to take so that they can actually bring in traffic from from inside of the total neighborhood and discharge them, on this road.
The flyover will connect the Oba Ogunji Road to Pensinema area and over the railroad to various other communities in the area, extending to the old Abeokuta Highway and into Abulegba.
Lagosians, we are recording more cases of the deadly COVID-19 pandemic every day. The second wave is spreading like wildfire in our communities. It is deadlier, spreads faster, and kills faster. Our isolation centers are getting filled up and more patients are on oxygen. More people are dying and the young ones are not left out. You don't need to die in ignorance or arrogance and foolishness. Observe all the precautions. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water. If you don't have access to water and soap, please use an alcohol-based sanitizer. Use your face mask properly and regularly. If you have to go out or be in public, avoid large crowds. Observe social distance always. Do not hug. If it's not important, stay at home. Most common symptoms include fever, dry cough or tiredness, aches and pains, sore throat, loss of taste or smell. Serious symptoms include shortness of breath, chest pain or loss of speech. Should you have any of these symptoms or know someone who does, please call the 24/7 Eco Telemed toll-free line on 0800 035 6633. We must take responsibility for our health and lives. We must fight coronavirus by being responsible. Please observe all precautions. The second wave of coronavirus is killing faster than you can imagine. Stay safe. Be responsible. Don't waste your life. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe, Lagos State Government announcer.
And this is where we call it today. Thanks for being a part of the show. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Please stay safe.